Hello, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are from. And the reason I'm saying this is because I'm sitting here in Bangalore, India. It's 8:30 p.m. Our partners from Germany, it's 5 p.m. And for Argentina, it's about 2 p.m. 2 p.m., I guess. It's about 11, 12, whatever it is. But glad that all of you are here. You are here in the Emerge Latin American Startups Coming to Frankfurt 2021 event. Today's event is being co hosted by Mainstage Incubator and AHK Argentina. Hessen Trade and Invest is one of our sponsors, and we also have partners in the form of Google for Startups, Frankfurt Valley, VSpark, Tech Quartier, IncuTex, AHK Dodge Chile, and Bolsa de Comercio de Rosario. I'm so sorry if I did not pronounce that right, but I tried my best. What we are going to do today is once in a time opportunity for startups from Argentina and Latin America who are going to get an access to the German ecosystem, the ecosystem of startups, fundraising, scaling, and connecting with various corporates so that they can scale in throughout Europe. With that, what we are going to do is we'll give you a very quick introduction about Mainstage Incubator and also about AHK Argentina. And they'll tell you a very brief about why did they start this, the reason that they are promoting this event, and kind of startups we are looking to support. So I'd like to start by inviting Sven and Debashish, the co-founders of Mainstage Incubator, on stage and talk a bit about Mainstage. Over to you, Sven.
Hey, Sumit, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the intro. So I happen to be the technical MC here in this event as well, just trying to see how I can bring both of us here together. There you go. Perfect. Yeah, super excited to be here. Happy to have so many people here at the audience. Also our friends from Argentina, Julieta and Sebastian. It's been a very exciting journey the past 1.5 months. Super happy that we're here today. Super happy to have awesome entrepreneurs here, and super happy to see so many people in the crowd. Thank you so much for taking the time afterward, in the afternoon. So, like Sven mentioned, my name is Sven. I'm the co-founder and CEO at Mainstage Incubator. At Mainstage Incubator, we help startups scale internationally. How do we do that? We do that with a couple of points. We do that with customer acquisition, fundraising, tech development, and our media arm. I myself have got around 10 plus years of enterprise sales experiences. I worked for startups and corporates, and I know kind of both worlds. I often see myself as a catalyst, but it's a pretty fun ride. Maybe Debashish, why don't you talk a little bit about you and how Mainstage started and what you expect out of this event?
Sure. Thank you so much, Sven. First of all, welcome everybody. Welcome to this very interesting cross-country innovation bridge which we are building between Argentina and Germany. Looking forward to hearing and listening to some great startups coming from Argentina who have aspirations to moving into the German and the European ecospace. That's amazing. Little about me. I am Debashish. I'm the co-founder of Mainstage, and believe it or not, I am working out of Bangalore. So we have, it's like a triangular thing. We have Argentina, we've got the Indian subcontinent, and we've got Germany as well. So, Mainstage started about 1.5 years back with the thought process of creating innovation bridges between different ecosystems, different geographies, and rightly so. What we are doing today is very true to our dream. We always wanted to have Latin America to be to create a large play into the startup ecosystem. Apart from sales and customer acquisition, which is headed by Sven and his team, we also do fundraise. We also invest in startups, and we help startups with our network, with our ecosystem, with our partners who are based out of Australia, Japan, Saudi Arabia, US, Canada, and once you so in the chat, somebody says I am muted. Am I not audible?
You are very much audible.
Okay, so I think it was Dr. Yamin said he I'm muted. So anyway, happy to be here. Happy to welcome all of you. All the best for today. Over to you, Swan.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Just a quick technical thing. In case you guys can't hear us, or if you feel we are muted, just press the F5 refresh button, and maybe there's also a settings tab on the top right. Just check out if you've configured your machine correctly. Most of the time, a refresh helps. Again, I'm looking so forward towards this event today. Sumit, stage is yours.
Thank you, Sven Debashish. Thank you so much for the introduction about Mainstage. And before I move ahead and actually call out a global ecosystem and tell you why, just to clarify, just to put forth that we are truly a global company. Uh, Quick about AirMeet. Let's make it extremely interactive. This is the kind of host I am. I love interaction. Drop in your chats. You can take a screenshot. You can post it on social media. You can use hashtag Mainstage Incubator, hashtag AHK Argentina, hashtag Emerge, whatever hashtags you want to use. You can ask your friends, family, and other startups, investors, or friends or your colleagues to watch this event. This is also a networking platform, so make sure all the 36 attendees over here connect with each other. Now, moving ahead, the reason why we are a global startup or a startup enabler is because we partner with various companies, various entities who are in the startup ecosystem supporting every single entity. Next, I'd like to ask Juliet to come on stage and give a brief about AHK and tell how AHK is supporting startups along with Mainstage. Over to you, Juliet.
Thank you, Summit. Hello everyone, and thank you guys for the introductions. My name is Julieta Barra, and I am representative of Hessen Trade and Invest in Argentina, besides being also head of foreign trade at the German Argentinian Chamber of Commerce. I am very happy to be here today and that our Emerge event through Frankfurt to the world has finally come true. When my colleague Sebastian and I first met Sven and Debashis, it was actually at a virtual call at the very beginning of the pandemic. And back then, we were already hoping to work together to connect the Latin American startups with the German startups. And through Mainstage, we can even extend our scope and reach other European and Asian countries, including the very interesting Indian startup scene. And this is very important because one of our main goals at Hessen Trade and Invest is the promotion of Hessen as an entry point, not only to Germany, but to Europe and other countries for entrepreneurs from Argentina and from Latin America. Our main task is to share all the advantages that this state has and offers as an investment and an expansion point for many types of businesses. I think that our event today completely reaches this goal. We are very happy that so many Latin American startups have sent their applications, and I would like to congratulate the ones that made it today to the finals, the day that we will decide, or that it will be decided by our honored jury, which startup will get the opportunity to accelerate within the Mainstage family. I would also like to thank our partners, which made possible that so many startups joined the competition. These are AHK Chile, Frankfurt Valley, Google for Startups, WeSpark, TechQuartia, Incutext, Área 3, and Bolsa de Comercio de Rosario, which Summit perfectly outspelled, and it was lovely to listen to your Spanish accent. Thank you very much as well to the members of the jury for your time today and your valuable expertise and insights. And many thanks to the General Consulate of Argentina in Frankfurt, which always stands beside us and offers assistance to Argentinian companies looking for business opportunities in the Frankfurt area and around. And my warmest thanks to Sven, Pedro, the Vashis Summit, and the whole Mainstage Incubator team for doing such an incredible work to organize this amazing event. It has been great working with you, and I hope it's the first of many other activities that we coordinate together. So now I wish you much luck to all contestants today, and thank you all for participating.
Thank you, Julieta. Yes, I tried to pronounce it properly. We all learn from one step at a time. Thank you for the wonderful introduction about AHK. Yes, obviously, as you can see, all the reactions coming over here. What you can do is you can see a smiley action button, call to action button next to the settings button on your screen. You can click on there, and let's all give a round of applause. Can we all do that? Or any emoticon that you want to throw out? Yes, perfect. Now this is what I love about M8. Like Julieta mentioned, congratulations to all the startups who have qualified for the finals. We know a lot of startups participated. They gave their best, and this is to do a very quick attendance to all the startups. So if you are available, could you please drop in a chat saying we are over here or we are present, or introducing yourself. The startups in the order are Biok. Biok, are you there?
Hello, yes, I am here.
Yes.
Hi.
So the way we are going to go ahead is I'll read out the names of the startups. You can drop in a chat saying, hey, this is your name from startup name. Make it interactive so that the judges and every participants know who you are, right? Perfect. So the first startup, Biok, are you there? Next startup is Deep Aggro SaaS. Next is Tracken. Then we have Gloria Life Sciences Transformation. Then we have AY Brand. Then we have Interbrain SaaS. Then we have Cadigo SaaS. And the last one is Prime Tech. So these are the 8 startups that are going to present today. So before we move ahead, I'll quickly explain you the rules. Rules for both startups as well as the judges. Yes, we have rules for the judges as well. So for the startups, we are going to give you 10 minutes to pitch. That's your entire duration for pitch and question answer. We had asked you to send across a video of your presentation for 7 to 8 minutes. Those who have sent across a video for 7 to 8 minutes, perfect. I'll run the clock for 7 minutes. We'll stop the video and give you the remaining 3 minutes for question answer sessions with the judges that we are going to have today. If your pitch deck was less than 7 minutes, what we'll do is we'll play the video for you. We'll ask you to come on stage, talk a bit about your venture for a couple of minutes, and then we move into the question answers round with the judges. I hope that is clear with you. And the judges for today are Pablo, Nelson Farfan, Debashish, and Sebastian Luna. So the rules for the judges are, since it's a video which is going to be played, just in case a startup comes in after the video and they give a 30-second introduction if the video is not completed, please allow them to complete their pitch, and then we move ahead for the question answers. Since we will have only 2 to 3 minutes question answers, we request you to, for both the judges and the participants, to keep the questions as well as answers as crisp as possible. Now moving ahead, if everyone is ready to go, I'd like to call upon the stage the first startup for today, that is Biok. Perfect.
Hello, my name is Christian Bustos. I am CEO and co-founder in BOK. I will show you BOK, our solution for teams advancing towards sustainability. BOK is a B2B software as a service. We solve environmental, health, and safety law compliance. Today, we have 80 corporate customers and $30,000 in MRR. Today, the big challenge is sustainability. All brand, products, companies, and business models want to be sustainable. But this change is not easy. All of them, first and minimum, need to be compliant with the law. Compliance is complex, slow, and expensive. Each country has thousands of legal requirements. Penalties are increasing, and criminal liability is effective in several countries. Compliance is the first building block for sustainability. For this reason, in BOK, our purpose is accelerate transition companies and organizations towards sustainability. We help to innovate and improve this process and relationship with the environment, new regulation, requirement, and their continuous change. BOK has everything you need to plan, schedule, and execute compliance with the law for environmental, labor, health, and work safety. Quick and easy. BOK customers are very happy with us because we improve 40% in law compliance after 1 year, and we reduce 90% time required for this work. We are B2B company. Our customers are medium and large company in all industry, like retail, mining, energy, construction, food, service, and project. BOK is a software as a service. Our price starts in $180 per month and user. Today, our sales channels are directly in digital way and regional distributors. This market in America and more important European countries has $19 billion per year, and 5.5 million companies with big and medium size need BOK. We know competitors and our product is more competitive for price, technology, and quick implementation for customers. We have excellent market fit with big and medium-sized companies in all industries like this. Our principal key point indicator show our accumulated revenue during these years is 300% over same period in 2020. And our monthly average growth during the last 12 months is 15%. Our roadmap started in 2019. Since April 2020, we started our acceleration with Chilean government support and Magical, our digital business accelerator. This year, we hope to exceed 200 customers and obtain income over $600,000. Today, we are in Colombia, Peru, and Chile. During next year, we expect to work in Mexico, and Germany will be our gate and base to Europe expansion. We are two founders. Jaime is a co-founder and CTO. He has 20 years in software development and management. I am engineer, master in environmental management with more than 20 years experience in engineering and environmental consulting. With Jaime, we have a bureaucracy team. This team has a big dream, sustainability in all companies around the world. If you want a sustainable world, you need to know and support BOK. Thank you very much. Welcome to Digital Sustainability.
Perfect, perfect. That was a good one, and I believe that was for 5 minutes. So I'll give you another couple of minutes, or would you like to tell a bit more about your startup, or do you want to take questions, Christian?
Okay. Hello, everybody. Thank you for this invitation. It's a pleasure to be okay here. If you want, it's very useful for me questions. If you something need to do some another information about BOK, we are be happy to learn to talk about this.
Perfect. So, do we have any questions, judges? Okay, before we move on to the questions, I forgot to mention one thing. You have been shared the score sheet. Now that you heard the first startup, we want you to ask the questions depending on the score sheet or any queries that you might have. So, over to you, judges. Do we have any questions? You will please unmute and switch on your camera. Yes, you can see Nelson.
Yes. Well, first of all, Christian, for the presentation, very interesting. And from what you're telling, I think there's a future to it from the research that you did. But I have questions. For example, when you did your competitive analysis, you just showed it on the screen, but I didn't get what is your own unique sustainable competitive advantage and how does it compare to competition. That's something that I didn't see. Why should it be you? Why not others? That's one. And the other thing is, if you want to truly go global and international, how are you going to do this? Because I don't know how you did it and how you will do it, because you're going to have challenges with different languages, different law, regulations, cultures, and it's the scalability. I see the challenge there. So how are you going to overcome those barriers, which I think is, to me, is limiting if you don't understand. So first of all, you need to understand what is it before saying which direction you should be going. So that's like two questions. One is the competitive advantage, and second is how are you actually planning to do that?
Okay. Two questions. Thank you, Nelson.
Okay, only one. You can take one, and you can do it later.
Question are very relationship, because our first competitors, or our first significant difference with our competitor is our technology. Because our technology based in machine learning, we can to search and update our low compliant database in very quickly and a cheaper way. Okay, we can detect any change in the law in every country around the world and advise our customers and update our database. Okay, for this reason, we can to expand very quickly in Chile and Peru and Colombia, and we move to Mexico and Europe, because with technology we can resolve this problem that in this industry was naturally resolved by consultancy. Then now consultancy is not necessary, because we don't need people searching a lot of law and compliance around the world, because the machine can to be this work very quickly and very cheaper. This is our principal difference. Okay.
Thank you.
Christian, I have a question for you too. Here's Sebastian from the AHK Argentina.
Hi, Sebastian.
Guys, and nice to have you here in the event. My question is, how do you integrate or how you connect this technology or your software with the other software that the company use usually?
Okay. Now we are in a process with integrate our solution with SAP. We are selected 1 month ago by SAP for a SAP license program for incorporate BOK a SAP marketplace. Okay, and another way is by API. We can connect BOK and any corporate system by our API.
Perfect. Thank you, Sebastian. Thank you, Christian. Thank you, Nelson. Thank you so much, everyone. Since we are over with the time now, thank you for the wonderful presentation. The next startup that we have is Deep Aggro.
Hi everyone, thanks for the opportunity to be here. I'm Juan Cornet, co-founder of Aggro, a software company based on artificial intelligence focused on solutions in crop management for growers. Every year, more than $24 billion are spent worldwide for weed control. But the incredible thing is that due to the currently available technologies, the growers have to apply these chemicals on entire lots, when in reality, on average, only 30% of the lot has weeds. Not only that, but due to the excessive use of herbicides, weeds begin to develop resistance, causing a vicious cycle. The more the usage of herbicides, the higher the resistance generated by the weeds. This becomes every day more inefficient, costly, and harmful to health and environment. Can you imagine if there was a solution that could apply these herbicides only over the weeds and not on the whole field? This is the first problem we addressed with detection with emerging crops. That is the solution we proposed from Aggro. We developed a system that uses cameras and artificial intelligence to recognize weeds among the crops and applies agrochemicals only where they are needed. This device can be attached to any existing sprayer, giving the ability to spray weeds selectively. We have come up with a solution with clear benefits, such as our computer vision system that works in no-tillage lands and an ideal operational speed, and the possibility of adding more functionality, such as differentiating between species of weeds, as well as diseases or insects. And all this with a business model based on software licenses, in which, with an initial investment in hardware, new licenses can be added year by year over it. As we developed such functionalities, no needing to replace the device. Thanks to this, the farmer can save up to 70% of the agrochemicals, and he's also reducing the environmental impact that this application generates in the use of water, for example. And not only that, in the near future, our technology will be able to differentiate among weed species, allowing for intelligent herbicide applications or even the use of alternative methods for targeted weed control. But this is only the beginning. We aim to be the eyes of the field, and we believe that this kind of technology is the key to continue producing food more efficiently, allowing the usage of new methods for crop care. Thanks to the support of numerous clients, suppliers, and partners, in 2020 we started the pre-commercial stage with our first devices on the field all across Argentina, with really promising results in recognizing weeds among soybean crops and in fallow as well. We have conducted numerous field demonstrations with key players in the region on agriculture technology, especially in herbicide application. And it is together with them that we have been co-creating our product in order to make it the tool that the farmer truly needs to achieve a more sustainable and efficient food production. And after several seasons of testing, this year we are starting a new phase in which we will commercialize approximately between 10 and 15 units of our device. And we will be co-creating this solution together with our customers. To this end, we have successfully conducted 4 tours throughout northern Argentina, where this type of technology is more needed and therefore feasible. We formed a team with experience in other startups in electronics and artificial intelligence, and with a significant scientific background, and also related since our childhood to the countryside. Recently, we expanded this team with a focus on artificial intelligence and software development, and we have been complementing it with the commercial and agronomical sector, key factors for the next challenges we are facing. In an ever-changing world threatened by the climate crisis, data and science are key elements to enhance agriculture. We invite you to create a more sustainable world with us. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that one. Can we have Juan on spotlight, please? And then we
Hi,
can
everyone.
reach out to the judges. Any questions?
Uh, Hi, Yon. I think it was a fantastic presentation. Thank you so much for it. You are actually
Thank you.
solving a huge problem of excessive use of pesticides, weedicides. Let me put it that way. I could not understand your.
I think Juan lost his internet connection.
Oh, there you go. There you go. So I just wanted to understand a little more about the traction which you have got, and basically the traction in terms of number of customers, POCs, any monthly MRR monthly revenue which you might be generating.
Okay. Yeah, as we are a very novel company, we started this development in 2018. We are, as I have said, we are in a pre-commission stage nowadays. We have 3 devices on the field that we have sold last year. One of them is a prototype, and this year we have almost 30 leads that we are trying to close these deals, and we have confirmed 5 sales for this year, and we try to reach between 10 and 15.
Oh, that's awesome. How is your manufacturing setup? Where are you getting it manufactured?
Nowadays, we are manufacturing here in Argentina. Some pieces are manufactured in China, some PCB assemblies and so on, but all is assembled here in Argentina, and also some pieces are manufactured here.
Great stuff, Juan. I think you got a great business at hand.
Thanks.
Thank you, Debashish. Do we have any other questions?
I have a
Yes,
comment.
Hamid.
Pablo?
Yes, Pablo.
Yes. First of all, congratulations, Juan Ignacio. My question is, how do you update the algorithm for different phase of your work?
Okay, that's a good question. The devices that we have spread today, we have to update the algorithms manually, but because they are beta versions. But the system that we are finishing to test nowadays have an upgraded system that is by internet, GPRS, or Wi-Fi. It depends on the clients, because some clients here in Argentina don't have good internet connection, mobile network, so we need to install the dedicated internet connection there.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, just a small suggestion, Juan Ignacio. I think it was a very nice presentation, and it sounds very promising. And I think in terms of benefits, you could also add the health benefits, because there's a lot of issues in Europe, especially, I come from Germany, and about the health negative effects, which normally the lobby tries to put under the carpet. So that's something that you could use up and use some of the lobbies for that. There's a lot of, let's say, organizations really fighting for that, and still having, let's say, some hard time. Europe is a mix of farming and living areas, so it's not like totally separated, and it's a health issue. I mean, that's something that you could add on also the benefit.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, great. Thanks.
Thank you, Juan. Thank you, all the judges.
Sumit, if I may just, I think Sebastian wanted to unmute himself. Sebastian, was there a question?
Yes, Juan. My question was, what are you looking for in Europe or this program?
Yeah. Okay. Nowadays this is one of our product, our first product, and we thought that it was the more logical for us, being an Argentinian company. We attacked the more logical crop, the more extensive crop here in Argentina, that is soybeans. But in the long play, we want to give services, provide services to agriculturers, farmers, and agricultural companies. Software services based on artificial intelligence, not only with detection. That's one of our products. So we know that all the cultures they are in, and also the labors in the field are different in Europe, and also there are great companies that manufacture technology for Aggro. So we are very interested in reaching Europe in this sense.
Perfect. Thank you, judges. Thank you, Juan.
Thanks.
Correct me if I pronounced your name wrong. The next startup we have today is Kraken.
Hello.
Hello, my name is Sergio Raposo. I am the founder and the Chief Operations Officer of Tracking. The problem that we identified is that the dangerous cargo management in Latin America is an analog process. It is based on paper documentation, which results in a weak traceability due to the quality, availability, and accessibility of information. The mishandling of this dangerous cargo may result in various damages, like damage to the environment, people or facilities, and the image of the process stakeholders. Our addressable market are energy companies and their contractors that manage dangerous cargo in their process. Our solution is to add value from the origin, transforming digitally the dangerous cargo management process. Which is the impact of our solution on the customer? We ensure data from the beginning. How do we do that? By digitizing the transportation guides and/or manifests. In that way, we empower the traceability and the process optimization. We validate cargo and transportation by satellite support, and we reduce the environmental impact. Our traction achieved so far in Argentina, we developed our MVP and initial testing in hazardous waste treatment companies. In Mexico, we have advanced negotiation to set tracking system as a dangerous cargo standard, and we have no billing yet. Our team. Our strength is that we have a multidisciplinary scoping aimed to process optimization. And our size, we are 4 members specialized in environment, process optimization, technology development, and marketing and finances. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sergio. Judges, do we have any questions for Sergio? Sergio, I think we cannot hear you. Can you speak?
Do you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay.
Perfect. Judges, do we have any questions for Sergio? Pablo, Sebastian, Nelson, Debashish. All right.
Oh, here I am again.
Yes, Nelson.
Well, thank you very much. Interesting presentation. Again, here I was missing, how are you going to do this? Before I get into some other questions, but if I have to ask one question, how would you do this?
How do we do this?
Yeah.
Yes, we have developed an MVP, and it connects. I think maybe I can share you a slide
Yeah.
Okay.
So to slide, you can to present your slide, you can click on the present to audience.
Okay. Can you see it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Not yet. I think it's working. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We based our service on the hazardous waste management as a first stage. We have a generator, then we have the transportation of hazardous waste, and then we have the treatment or final disposal of that hazardous waste. From the beginning, we digitize the manifest, and now is paper documentation, and the documentation is electronic through the whole process. This is important because we connect stakeholders like the generator, the transporter, the treater or final disposal, in application authorities and NGOs in that cases that are necessary or local regulations require it. We use for this cloud computing, IoT, and big data analytics. We have developed our MVP, and we have started with a hazardous waste treatment company.
Okay.
Was it clear?
Yeah, I understand how you do it. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Sergio. We can stop presenting the screen now.
Okay.
Sergio, I have a question. What kind of industries are you focusing? Because you say like oil and gas, I think, or something like that. But what are you looking, or what kind of client are you looking for?
Our mainstream is the energy companies like oil and gas and mining, and we can manage also in the second stage the electronic waste to get traceability to that kind of cargo.
Perfect.
Thank you. Thank you, Sebastian. Thank you, Sergio. Do we have any other questions, judges? In fact, even the audience can drop in their questions, and I'll moderate the questions if you have any. Perfect. Thank you, Sergio. I believe there are no more questions for you at the moment.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much for the wonderful presentation. Up next, we have Gloria Life Sciences Transformation.
My name is Federico, and I'm the CEO of Gloria, SaaS platform for life science companies. Healthcare is a complex scenario where many different actors come into play: patient, doctors, healthcare organization, and multiple providers. Have you had a doctor consultation in the last month, or have you asked a recommendation from a pharmacist? For sure, you haven't asked yourself how complex is the decision-making process that lies behind every medical treatment. COVID has accelerated the adoption of digitalization and converted even the most late adopters. In other words, COVID changed the consumer behavior of each of the actors involved in healthcare. We are at a digital inflection point in a €1 trillion industry. Let's focus on life science companies that include pharmaceutical, biotech, medical devices, and hospital equipment. Life science companies have invested large amounts of resources in research and development while maintaining a traditional commercial model. This commercial model is no longer sustainable because of high operative costs associated, non-data-driven decisions are taken, and most importantly, the consumer has changed into a new reality. Therefore, a new approach has been taken to reach the customer in an effective and productive way. Companies must focus on a clear new strategy to solve the digitally empowered customer. You may be wondering, is it too early or is it too late? Well-known consulting firms such as Accenture, Boston, Deloitte, Gartner, or McKinsey agree that life science companies must shift to commercial model to build personalized engagement, build a stronger relationship with customers while decreasing their operating costs. The challenge is that life science companies and providers were not prepared for the rapid change. Our solution to this change, Gloria, a SaaS platform that enhances how life science companies transform and innovate their commercial model, turning them into real customer-centric companies, increasing sales in a profitable way. Our unique value proposition, a self-service, intelligent, and personalized platform for the customer, and management system that tracks all digital and physical interaction with the customers, and a data architecture for artificial intelligence algorithms for data-driven business decisions. Big competitors have been offering solutions for the old paradigm, the first digitalization wave that aimed just processes digitalization. Their cost, pricing, and commercial strategy make it difficult for them to totally renew their actual offer. How attractive is this market in terms of revenues? We are talking about a very big potential market with a double-digit growth rate for the next years. In a nutshell, the market for commercial marketing visualization platforms for life science companies is worth 17 billion euros globally. It's important to consider that 50% of the total number of life science companies are not digitalized, and from the ones with some kind of digitalization, more than 68% are facing data challenges. We are an experienced, technology-passionate, and ambitious team with a deep interest in solving the industry pains. That is why we are going to lead the market by being a strategic partner of life science companies that want to increase their sales in a profitable way. We started operations in February. We got a pre-seed investment of 100 euros and a smart money investment for 20,000 euros. In 4 months, we have closed deals with 3 customers. Our first model is live, and we are negotiating opportunities that would allow us to improve our platform features. To recap, the challenge, life science companies' commercial paradigm must shift to serve the digital empowered customer. Business model, Gloria is a SaaS platform specifically designed for life science companies such as pharma, biotech, medical devices, and medical equipment. Our unique value proposition is that Gloria transforms how life science companies engage their customers, being doctors, patients, and decision makers, in a way to increase sales in a profitable way. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Thank you, Sergio. Sergio is from Kraken. I'm
Federico
so sorry.
from Gloria. Hi, everyone.
Yeah, hi, Nicholas. I'm so sorry, Sven. Could you please put Nicholas in the spotlight?
Federico.
Perfect. That was a wonderful pitch, Nicholas. Yeah. So, do we have any questions? Yes, Debashish, Nelson, I can see all of your hands raised.
Hi, Nikolai. I think one of your presentation was very comprehensive, and you really identified the problem very well. One question is, how are you? Can you take us maybe quickly in 30 seconds a use case wherein how your platform is going to assist in sharpening a drug development process, for example?
Very good question. We focus on the commercial side, so it's not we are not focusing on how to enhance the product or the drug per se. We are trying to. Our focus is on how the company can relate and add value to the healthcare professionals, patients, and other decision makers. But we are not focusing on development processes.
Got that. So can you take me through the other use cases?
Yeah, of course. Well, as, traditionally speaking, how the pharmaceutical, for instance, companies were working is they have a large sales networks that physically visit the different healthcare professionals. One use case, just to mention something, is one of our models is a self-service intelligence platform for this healthcare professional. So they can enter and mostly they can do most of the things that they were doing with the previous traditional model. So in this case, for instance, they can find resources for continuous medical education. They can ask for a sample, for instance, from a pharmaceutical company. They can access to the clinical trials that are open right now, so they can postulate or they can put a patient on this clinical trial. This is just a few examples on how this the first model that we are constructing is changing the way the companies are working with these decision makers. I am answering your question. It's okay?
Yeah, broadly. Maybe in the interest of time, I will take this question offline. But thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Debashish. Nelson, do we have any question for him?
Yeah, I think it's going to take a little bit longer if I ask
Yes, we have time. We do have
questions. I really, honestly, I didn't understand the use case. If you were to focus on one single point, an example, take us from A to Z, because you use many possibilities, but that's why, honestly, I didn't understand really what, how you're going to do it, what is it? Before, yeah, I didn't get it. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm always coming from you that are coming from the pharmaceutical industry is very, very important.
Yes, I was at Abbott before and Merck Pharmaceutical, so I know, and also now doing robotic surgery, so I know much about that. So I just don't see how can I call you and say, come help us out. You didn't sell it to me yet.
Yeah.
So that's
why, of course. Well, this was a big case that I was mentioning, but we transform how the company can relate with a healthcare professional. We change and transform how the information and the digitalization can help the company to better engage with this customer. So that is the points of that we digitalize, and that is why one of our main models is this customer portal. So,
Nicolas, one question. Your customer is a pharma industry, and for a doctor, or it's free. Who pay for the solution is the pharma industry.
Yes, our target is the pharmaceutical medical devices company. Our solution is a software as a service, it's white label. So the portal where they enter or where they manage is completely, and the data that they are using is completely from the company, from this pharmaceutical, for instance. Healthcare professionals doesn't have to pay, or in fact, for the healthcare professional, we don't appear as a channel. It's directly the company.
Perfect. Thank you, Pablo.
Thank you, Pablo.
Do we have any question? Yes, we have a question from Pedro. Funding information was not clear. How much could you please repeat how much fund did you receive and how much you're looking to raise?
Yes, we did that is a question, sorry. Funding information.
Yes, that's
it. We did a pre-seed round of 100,000 euros, and we have also investment from 20,000 from Smart Money, Business Angel, and we have a public loan from the Spanish government.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Nicholas. Thank you, all the judges. So with this, we come to the first batch of startups. We do not want to give out all the 8 startups at one go because we understand how difficult it is and how how much does it consume us mentally or physically. So we'll do a quick stretching session while our speakers prepare and a quick fireside chat comes up. So just a quick stretch up. You can just do with your hands, all the speakers, You can see me. If you are not comfortable, that's completely okay. If your video is off, please go ahead. We have all been sitting up, sitting down. I'm so sorry. And we've been working from home. It takes a toll out of us, right?
Yeah, it
Go
does.
get
It does.
get some water, drink some warm water, a cold water, whatever that is you prefer, right? And yeah, so while we wait for the speakers, now I'd like to we saw four fairly good startups. They are looking to scale through Frankfurt to the world, as you can see in the background. Now, my my curiosity over here is towards what is it that Germany has to offer? What is it that Argentina is bringing to Germany? And how is it that both these parties are going to do something incredible together? So I'd like to, yes, as you can see, we have Pedro, Nelson, and Sven on stage. Can we invite one more speaker, Sven, so that they can have
For that,
fireside
George,
chat?
let me just quickly remove you from this pinpoint because where's
Yes.
Sebastian gone? Okay. Sebastian is there. No, that is the wrong one. Okay, Sebastian turned on this camera. There you go.
Perfect. So now we have a good blend of Germany and Argentina. The speakers, over to you. We'll give you 10 minutes, just like startups did, so that you can pitch the beauty of Argentina, Germany collaborating together so that they can go to the world through Frankfurt. Your time starts now.
So I'm not going to start. I would like to give the stage to Pedro and Nelson, given that they know the LATAM market, living here in Germany. I think they've got lots of experiences to share. Nelson, why don't you start?
Sure, sure. So I didn't prepare my keynote today, but what I can say is coming to Germany. I think if you start in Argentina or anywhere in the world, and if you have, let's say, any connectivity with Germany, or let's say German developed, and once you start going from that stage to the rest of the world, you would add a lot of value. Let's say I do a lot in Asia, and if you have the made in Germany in there, or you have some German, something in it as a DNA, I think it's a good balance from, let's say, Argentina and Germany, and then from this you can create, let's say, a lot of value. That will be from the communication side. In Germany, I think we're not the US, of course, in terms of like the ecosystem, but there is a very nice small community, and here you have Pedro Ferreira. He speaks perfect Spanish, perfect, and Portuguese, English, and all kinds of other languages. So he knows everybody, and once you start getting into the ecosystem here, you can really knock at doors and make it. But the main thing again is partnering with Germany. You get your German stamp on it, and that will give you value long term. Yeah. Besides, all I say that the way the German works, very particular, and a lot of thinking, a lot of analysis, not just getting things done. That's the German way. So that would be my reason why you should come to Germany, or you should go through Germany compared to other countries. And Frankfurt's great, by the way. It's a beautiful city. It's getting a lot better. It's a very, very nice metropolis, I would say. Yeah, that's my pitch to Frankfurt.
Perfect, beautiful. Thank you so much, Nelson. Pedro, why don't you give us a quick overview about your experience, what you saw, or what you like about the German startup ecosystem, and what advice do you have for international startups as well, and the same with Sebastian as well. But Pedro. Oh, I think you're facing some technical issues, Pedro. If you could just hit that refresh button, and in the meantime, we will have Sebastian talk.
Okay, thanks, Sven. Yes, for us here in Argentina, I think in Latin America as well, we are thinking all times going to USA or going to Israel, because they're the main hubs where all startups want to be. But we are not thinking about Europe like innovation hubs, and Europe isn't such an innovation hub. You have not only one, you have like five cities or like five hubs of innovation in different parts of Europe, and Germany is one of the more important. And that I can see here in Argentina is like is that startups uh, have like this fair and about Germany, about the language. They say, okay, but I don't speak German. But if you are in Germany, if you are in Berlin, you don't need to speak German. So I have friends in Berlin that they are already 2 years living in Germany, and they can't say almost anything in German because they speak all the time in English, and there are a lot of Spanish speakers as well, like Nelson says, and that is because Nelson says something very important. Germany or Europe is not like USA, because you have free market, and in German you have to be more I don't know how to say it, more efficient or more you cannot do something because or because you have to do that, or you have to have a reason. But in another hand, this is really a very good point for startups, because when you start working with Germans, with startups or people in the German ecosystem, you become more professional. Because you learn a lot of new skills that you don't have here in Latin America, and this kind of skill make you more globally and make you more important or more important partner for your stakeholders. So I think this is one of the most important thing that we have to keep in mind. And another important thing is Germany are looking forward in Latin America, and Germany is looking for startups here, and we have here a lot of possibilities because here is cheap to interpret to have a startup, because here we can spend, I don't know, $200 or $300 in things that in Europe you have to pay $1,000, and this is an opportunity here, because we can start here, we can have here a lot of potential, and we can use this potential that is based here in Latin America and make it grow it in Germany.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Sebastian, for sharing your insights. Pedro, why don't you tell us a little bit about you, what you think of the story now? You call Frankfurt your home, right? You've lived for many years here, and every time I see any post of you, you proudly present the Frankfurt skyline. What are your thoughts on this?
Okay, Sven, thank you. I hope that now you can hear me? Okay, perfect. So again, thank you everyone who joined the event. In the name of Mainstage, but as well as from Frankfurt Valley, I would like to say that it's a pleasure for me to join you. Buenas tardes, buenos dias. As you already said, I speak different languages, but the most important thing that I wanted to say as well is that, this session for us is very important, because we are all about bridges between ecosystems, and we really believe that together we can grow and make startups scale globally. So this aligns pretty much very well with both missions. And well, if Frankfurt could be a stopping place and the support for that, we would be very happy for it. So the session itself, I think no one said it, but the session is being recorded. So we, as media partners, Frankfurt Valley, we will send this file and share it with multiple stakeholders that are interested in these verticals, because one of the things that Frankfurt is all about, it's about diversity. And diversity, we already said about being a very international place where more than half of the population as a international background, so we are winning against the pure German, but as well in terms of business. So some years ago, Frankfurt was only known by the fintech industry because of European Central Bank, the different regulators in the region, financially speaking. But yeah, the region is much more than just a financial hub. So it's really diverse. It has become a really mobility and logistics hub, but as well for the medtech industry. A lot of corporates are interested about the solutions that you are working on. So we see a lot of matchmaking opportunities. We hope that some of them are joining the networking part, but if they don't, we will obviously do our best to do the bridges between the ecosystem. Also, we prepared a more detailed session that we will start now with two very important ecosystem players or stakeholders. One is Sarah Grunwald from the Tech Quartier, that indeed has as well a very important role and is one of our partners of the event. And Sarah will explain in more details why the region is so attractive for everyone. And on the other hand, we also invited the consul from Argentina here in Frankfurt. As Julieta also said, we have a very ongoing collaboration with them. So Esteban Carli is going to be here in the session, and we will discuss with both in a minute some of these points.
Perfect. No, thank you so much, Pedro. And again, we're here to support you. If you guys want to connect with Pedro, just look him up under Frankfurt Valley. I think if you Google Frankfurt Valley, the first thing which pops up is Pedro. If you go to images, you will see, and it will confirm the story. You will see pictures, a lot of pictures on different angles. He always proudly presents a Frankfurt skyline. I'm really happy. I think we've got 5 minutes to go. Oh, I haven't even said anything. So maybe my view and my advice is, we've seen multiple pitches. We help our startups with sales, so I kind of help out the startups with sales. One advice is, next time when you go pitch to a corporate, whether be it in German, Europe, make sure to bring in some structure in there. Problem, solution, impact. Make sure to leave some time in the presentation to ask questions. The best sales meeting is if you talk for 10 minutes and for the rest of 50 minutes your customer talks. That is the best sales meeting, because then they'll start thinking about your solution. So that's the advice I can give. Make sure you structure your meetings in a way that you can bring your point out together to the audience, but B, also analyze the problems they are having, the corporates or the potential customers, but also make sure, and I've seen this in one of the slides, I don't remember, but I was in love with it. The last slide where it says, just as a summary, this is what we are doing. It's a few paragraphs. The last slide is a summary and a thank you page. I love that. This is what we're doing. This is the problem we're solving. This is how we can help you. These are the next steps. That was beautiful. So that is also one thing I'd like to give the startups as well. Again, like Pedro mentioned, Frankfurt is an international city, very diverse. There's so many ecosystem players here as well. And one thing Pedro and I were always saying that, hey, there's so many incubators out there here in Frankfurt. We don't believe in competition. For us, it's about co-opetition or co-op. How can you put one puzzle piece and the other one together and add value to the startup ecosystem? That is all my bits and pieces to say. I know this was a last-minute panel, but I was really happy to hear from you, Nelson, from Sebastian, but also you, Pedro. Sumit, back to you.
Thank you, Sven. Thank you so much. I know this was quite insightful. I thought I'll ask one question to all folks in Germany over there, in terms of Germany or Europe being a tourist destination. That is also an attraction, right? So we'll save that for later. The fun part after the event is over, during the networking sessions or right before the networking sessions. So perfect. So what we are going to do now is, this session is going to end. We'll be closing this session and the next session will start immediately. All you need to do is click join, and you will be routed into that session. The next session is going to be for everyone who is looking to understand the opportunities and the synergies between Latin America and Germany. With that, thank you all the startups for the time being. See you in the next session, which will start in about a couple of minutes.
And you're good to.
Perfect. Thank you, Sven. Thank you so much. Thank you to all, both the speakers earlier. You heard them pretty clearly about how Germany is bridging Germany and Mainstage Incubator and all the partners are acting as a bridge between LATAM and the European startup ecosystem. Moving ahead, we'll have four final startups presenting to the judges over here. The rules are the same. I'll just quickly read out the names of the startups who are going to go ahead in the particular order. First, we have AY Brand. Then we have Interbrain SaaS, then Cadigo SaaS, followed by Prime Tech. So we will start with AY Brand first.
Hello, my name is Gonzalo Mendiara. I am product manager and co-founder at iBrand.
I am Natalia Monge, and I am a UX writer at iBrand.
We design the future using technology, engineering, and a little bit of magic. And this is our secret know-how. We support companies that want to become market leaders through digital transformation, and we believe that innovation is the way to do it.
These are some market trends that we took from Globant, some IT-related predictions that we believe that are relevant for us. For example, by 2022, more than 60% of the global GDP will be digitalized. And between 2019 and 2022, almost $7 trillion will be spent on IT. Moreover, around 500 million new apps will be developed from 2018 to 2023, which is the number of apps created in the last 40 years. So if we look at these trends and if we take into consideration what the pandemic has shown us about how we work and how the market behaves, we can all agree that it is impossible for a company to grow without digital transformation.
Our solution is collaborate with our clients as technology partners, empowering their companies to make better decisions by automating process with artificial intelligence, data engineering, and data analytics. Our services are centered on management technology and development of software. And in this way, the impact of our solution, in this case, this is a success story for our clients, Anodal. This company invests 5% of their revenue in digital transformation, and today they are 26% more profitable.
And now we are working on this prototype. This is called Mono, and this is a project management software, which will also help our clients to improve their customer experience. Now this is being tested with early adopters in the construction industry. According to the research that we made, the construction industry has a need that still isn't met for this type of product, and we believe that it can also be scaled to other industries. So, like we said before, we fly the flag of innovation, and we believe in the power of teams to create products that can and will change the world. These are the humans behind the magic. We are an empowered product team, and we are always looking for new talent. Our goal is to have experts in every area that we work on in order to deepen our knowledge, broaden our skills, so we can be prepared all the time to tackle the next challenge.
Our culture is about technology and their possibilities. It's about business and their goals, and it's about the needs of the users. The product discovery is a challenge and a concept that we breathe every day in our company, and trying to discovering these new ways, these new products in the markets. So we use collaborative tools we allow us to work remotely and in real time with clients from all over the world. This is some of our alliance partners and institutional relationships. And finally, are you ready to create the future and lead market with us? And this is our invitation from iBrand, whatever your position is, like investor or partner, or if you have an idea or a great product and you don't have the team to build it, in this size, you have an empowered team.
Okay, thank you very much. We hope you enjoy this. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you so much, iBrand. We have the speaker here.
Yes, Sumit, hello,
Yes,
everyone.
Gonzalo. Thank you for the wonderful presentation. Judges, do we have any questions for iBrand?
Gonzalo, Nelson.
Hey, Nelson.
Yes. Well, nice for the presentation. Thank you. And you digitalize. And what is the focus of the company so you're going after? I didn't see the focus and the proof of concept for that specific focus. Taking just one, can you take me through one simple example?
Yes, we are working. We start with offer our service. Today the company the focus is the service, but we have a strong focus on this concept of product discovery, and this is that we are working on. All of the teams in the company are thinking in discovery the product that we want to scale to the world. And in this case, it's a great opportunity for us, following the words from Sebastian and Esteban, to begin to build a bridge with another markets. We are in Argentina, and it's difficult for our clients here to pay our service, and that is the intention and the invitation for today, to build some networking and think what is the next product.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any other question? Yes, Sebastian.
Hi, Gonzalo. My question is, you sell a service, and the service is supported by a system or like a software, or you only sell the service and you use software of, I don't know, like Trello or other kind of companies?
We build a software, tailor-made software to companies, and that is our service.
Okay.
Center on management, technology, and that this development of this software. We support this development and management with a lot of tools, collaborative tools, in internal in our teams, and with external with the clients. The communication with clients are supporting in these different platforms.
And you already have clients working now in Europe, or they are only in Argentina?
We have a few clients on local here in Cordoba, and is our goal reach new markets out from Argentina.
Okay, thanks.
Hi, Gonzalo. This is Devashish from Mainstage. Good presentation. Thank you for this. One question: what kind of traction have you got so far in terms of customers and terms of revenue?
Okay, we have a little life of a company. We have 6 months of operations, and we have a little data, but here in Argentina, our clients, the ticket of annual of one client is $25,000. That is the unique data that I can give you in this moment, and that is one of the reasons that we want to reach new markets. No.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you, judges. Thank you, Gonzalo, for that wonderful pitch.
Thanks.
Thank you, Gonzalo. So moving ahead, our next startup is Interbrain SaaS.
Good afternoon. My name is Alberto Aguiló. I am Executive Director of Interbrain, and here I will introduce our company. Basically, we are an EdTech company that we specialize in improving the cognitive learning process of organizations when they need to train a new employee, or when a current employee needs to acquire a new competence. And we do it using disruptive technology like virtual reality, augmented reality, and different kind of interactive resources, and with innovative technology like gamification and the learning by doing methodology. Our company started when we identify a problem that is with the current model of training that the corporate use currently, which is obsolete, and this kind of methodology that they currently use produce extra cost, loss of talent, accident increments, loss of clients, and lack of information to support the decision. So basically, our value proposition is to innovate in the way that the people learn, concentrating in the person that is learning, and we do this. This improvement has an effect in the cost of the training, in the reduction of accidents in the site, and also in efficiency in the management of talent of the organizations. And all of these produce a big impact in the bottom line of the companies. Our business model is composed of three big parts. The first one is the mediation of content, and this kind of solutions that we develop. Our business model is using project-based margins. Then we have our own platform of that is a LCMS, Learning Content Management System, that is called Interactive Academy. And this the business model for the platform is used by but licensed as a SAS model. And then we have also certification in alliances that we do with the university and education institutions. And in this case, we use profit sharing. The market that we have is in front is huge worldwide. There is an expectation of 8.5 billion in 2 years for the VR and AR training market, and the growing is above 3-digit percentage. We have big companies. We have secured big customers so far, international customers. A little bit about Interbrain. We are 2 founders with B2B focus. The founders still keep 89% of the shares, and so far we have invoiced $250,000 dollars since we start 3 years ago, and we have a backlog in execution and to be invoiced of more than $140,000 USD. We have 10 projects in execution, 22 commercial proposals submitted for an amount of 287 USD up to May 2021. Our turnover growth was above 150% if we compare year to year, 2020 to 2021. And our burn rate is close to the 12,000 USD per month. And we have a strong team. This team is we have almost 20 people currently for different disciplines. We have 2 PhD working with us, one in mathematics that keep all the artificial intelligence development, and one in engineering. And also we have a lot of developers, 3D modelers, and designers. Thank you very much, and I hope we can keep in touch for this incubation process.
Thank you, Alberto. You can see the wonderful view from your car. Thank you for joining in.
Yeah.
Do we have any questions from the judges? Any questions? Yes.
So I had one question. So what is the exact product or solution which you have right now? Is it a VR, AR, VR product, or do you customize it to the need of the customer?
Very good questions, David. Actually, we started the company, develop solutions like VR, augmented reality, or other kind of resources interactive. And when we give it to the companies, when we give this product to the company, we realize that they have a problem to how they deliver this product to their employees. So after using lean startup process, we detected this need, and we integrate vertically our company, not only creating the product, the training, the course, but also to giving a platform, a LCMS platform developed by us to deliver this training.
Got that. Thank you, Alberto.
You're welcome.
Yes, I have a question and a comment. First of all, a very, very nice presentation, Alberto. It was very well done, very professional, looking great and everything. The question that I have is, and give me an example. Imagine I have a mid-sized company and I don't have let's say, a good marketing team. Communication in the company is not well. I'm not really getting the shares. And I say, okay, I would like to train my team in brand management, for example. How would you go about doing that?
Okay, thanks. Yeah, actually, what we do is to develop the product, you need to have 3 parts. You have the technology part that we added this portion. We have the methodology part that we also have some education, how to structure the course. And then you have the content. The content normally is a knowledge that the company has. So probably when the people, you want to train somebody for branding or sales, you have some person that is the one that gives the training in the company currently. So basically what we do is we take the knowledge for this person
to avoid opportunity cost, to avoid lack of criteria, the same criteria when you do a course. We take this and we create a training course that you can use illimitedly, and all the people can do it remotely without the person per se be in this place giving the training. I don't know if I reply your question.
Yeah, I get it. So basically, because I have developed a training system for brand marketing, right? So I have all the how, and basically you take that. The company has the need, is an expert. There's the company, and you digitalize. You make it maybe with a VR in a fun way, more interactive way. Is that how you do it?
Correct. We base in the Dale Cone, that is the knowledge pyramid. That pyramid said that when the person interact and take it goes from a passive learning process to an active learning process, the retention of knowledge is quite much bigger. And there is a lot of scientific study that support what I'm saying. So basically what we do is we take your content and we develop a best way to do it. But let's say that you are a small or middle-sized company and you don't have the resources to pay this solution. So we also have solutions already prepared by us that you can take it and you can train your sales personnel using our current product. So we have products already to be used.
Okay.
But also we have tailor-made product. If you are a big company like Cargill or Bayer or Scania, they want to have their own process to train their people. So in this case, sorry to get too long.
So the actual training happens with the VR and with also what vehicles do you use?
We have VR is our more let's say high quality product, but we have also augmented reality that you can use with a laptop, with a smartphone. We also have interactive video. We have developed a solution that you can interact your own videos and create a tracking of how the people is learning. So basically, you also can have information about how the people learn without being present in the training course. We have interactive video. We have augmented reality. We have infography that you can interact. All kind of interactive resources, technological interact resources.
Thank you, Alberto.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Nelson. Thank you, Alberto. Pablo, Sebastian, do we have any questions? Perfect. Thank you, Alberto. Wonderful presentation. Moving ahead, our next startup is Cadigo.
Hello, my name is Ulises Cover. I am Cadigo's founder and CEO. And first, I want to tell you that my team and me, we are very happy to be here. Let's go. Did you know that in Latin America and the Caribbean, e-commerce grew 75% in the last 2 years, reaching 156 million buyers, and during 2020, this figure is tripled, according to EasyLAZ and Case. Despite this growth, there are companies that do not have logistics service linked to their web market. Also exists atomization of logistic operator, very high commission, and restriction when ordering. We detect the market in Latin America and the Caribbean is around the $22 billion. In Argentina, Chile, Bolivia, the ZEM is $4.7 billion, and Argentina, the ZOM, is $167 million, reachable at 39% at 2024. With this in mind, we have created Cadigo, an open platform that integrates and connects different logistics services for short, medium, or long distance, and allows traditional businesses, e-commerce platform, or consumers to make shipments within a specific coverage area at the convenient cost. We developed a Cadi market. It allows the user to order any product. Cadi Commerce allows the merchants to enter the order manually. Cadi Delivery, it allows the Cadi pick out, transport, and deliver the product. Cadigo API REST is very important that it allows e-commerce to make home deliveries without the need to hire this own logistics. What is the impact in our clients, SMEs, businesses, and e-commerce? Firstly, low cost, variety of options for shipment and sales channels. We integrate mobile, market, and web, and provide different channels for receiving and issuing orders that are adapted to the need of our customers. And the clients and the users, the final users, the convenience to order what you need when you want. Plus 3 hours saving time and $5 in transportation every day is a lot of money. $1,500 a month. The traction at today is plus 8,000 downloads, plus 9,000 deliveries, plus 4,000 sales, and plus 200 commerce registered shop. The strong in our team is the quality of the founders and the rest of human capital. My team is conformed with Ulises Cover, CEO, system graduate with 7 years entrepreneur. Ramiro Martinez is a CTO. He has 6 years of experience with DevOps and web developer. His thesis in system engineering. Lucas Vera is a graphic designer, UA and UX. Francesco Melchior is our CMO. He's a graphic designer too. Hernan Moya is a senior dev. Was Alejo Garcia. Thesis system engineering. And the staff, legal and finance, accountant Laura Leon, 70 years experience, and Segundo Carranza is a lawyer expert in technology companies. Our partners, Cluster in Cuba, del Córdoba Technology Cluster de Argentina, StoryDots, IPO Chase, Google for Startup, and Area 3 in the program Impulso Startup, and Pagotic is a gateway, pay gateway. Thank you for the opportunity, and again, I'm really happy to be here. Goodbye.
Thank you so much, Eduardo. That was a wonderful presentation. Do we have any questions for Eduardo? Nelson, Sebastian, Debashish, Pablo, do we have any questions for him?
Yes.
Eduardo,
congratulations.
Nelson here. I didn't really get your business model. Is it for consumers and you have an app, and how does it compare to Amazon? So I got a little bit, maybe explain a little bit more about that, please.
The model is B2B and B2C. Basically,
Eduardo, I'm sorry, we cannot hear you. Can you bring your microphone closer to you? Closer, please.
hello.
Yes, yeah, much better.
Here. Mic.
Yeah.
The model is basically a B2B and B2C.
We what 50% for the commerce and minoristas. And Cadi Envíos es un fee de $30, 30 cents dollars, but for final users, API REST, and commerce. Basically, with the presentation, the commerce is a differential with for our competence. The commerce can ingress the levers manually.
How different is it to Amazon?
The difference for Amazon is sorry. The difference for Amazon is basically can share the share.
Eduardo, may I recommend that if you're not comfortable at the moment, maybe you can use Google Translate and you can send a direct message to Nelson.
Okay, yes.
Completely fine with
Or
it.
you can do it in Spanish if you
Yes,
don't
you can.
mind.
Yeah,
You can do it in Spanish also. I'm okay. But I guess
Sorry,
I know
my
Sonic
English,
and
this
Timo.
is my first time in English. Bueno, la diferencia con Amazon es básicamente que nosotros podemos incorporar los pedidos, pueden ser ingresados los pedidos manualmente por parte de los comercios, por parte de nuestros clientes a pedido, y también podemos incorporar un sitio web, un e-commerce o un ERP nuestros servicios para sumar a los comercios una experiencia mucho más personalizada respecto a otras plataformas. Entonces, básicamente, si no quieres trabajar con la aplicación principal, Marketplace, podés hacerlo a través de nuestros servicios de API REST. Incorporás e-commerce, por ejemplo, incorporás nuestro servicio y todos esos pedidos que están ingresando a través de tu e-commerce van a entrar en nuestro sistema. El sistema van a ir a un cadete que puede ser estar en una moto, puede estar en una furgón, una van, camión, o puede ser, por ejemplo, otro dispositivo. Básicamente lo que nosotros buscamos es diferenciarnos por el lado de lo que es delivery, ofrecer delivery de última milla, también de media distancia y larga distancia a la misma. Actualmente estamos probando todo lo que es incorporación de taxis.
Ok.
Encomiendas y demás. Y bueno, estamos haciendo pruebas.
Ok, bueno, pienso hacer un poquito más. I said in English for everybody else, so it's if I correct me if I understand that right. So it's like an ecosystem where it's non-Amazon. So the companies, you go somewhere where everybody helps each other, places the order, buys and sells, and the companies are in it. But it's not an Amazon. It's like opposite to Amazon actually. The Amazon is all it's centralized, and you are decentralized. Amazon system, is that what it is?
Yes.
It's more direct without having to have a giant Amazon. It's more like a club kind of thing, is it?
Yes.
Because it's a last mile solution, so it's for logistics, but you are focused in the last mile, so
okay.
Not in long distance.
Actually, unfortunately, we are actually running out of time, but I'll give a couple of minutes as a grace period because of barriers that we're facing. Do we have any questions, Devashish?
Yeah, just for clarification, are we talking about manufacturing clusters or are we talking about customer clusters? Is it group buying?
Sí, pueden. Sorry, I question.
Please go ahead.
Answer in Spanish.
I can translate if you want. I can volunteer to translate.
Thank you very much. Sí, con Cadigo podés, si sos una empresa, una industria, una manufacturera.
If you're manufacturing or commerce,
vos podés sumar a Cadigo y podés repartir tus productos en el día, básicamente a today, y sacar, digamos, más rápido todos los productos minoristas. A veces, por ejemplo, podés mandar un camión, un pedido container para mandar a un país. Pero, por ejemplo, si tenés un pedido que querés mandar una producción pequeña, por ejemplo, y querés mandar tus productos a tus propios consumidores en el día, sin tener que pasar por un correo tradicional, por
thank you, Eduardo.
servicio de la
Thank you.
Yeah,
Eduardo.
basically what it is in a small unit, you can order a small unit, it's a quick delivery, is like, you know, special service, quick for smaller transactions. That's what Eduardo said.
Great. Well, I think we need to take this little offline, but that's okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Nelson, for translating it.
No problem.
Thank you so much. Thank
you,
you,
Eduardo.
in public.
Thank you,
Eduardo.
For all. I practice my English for other time.
Thank you. Next up, the final startup for today, we have Prime Tech. Eduardo, could you please mute yourself? Thank you. Yeah, the final startup for the day is Prime Tech.
Hi, my name is Juanita Castañeda, CEO of Print Medical Technology, or Prime Tech for short. According to the World Health Organization, as of 2017, there were 451 million people living with diabetes worldwide, and that number is expected to increase by at least 25% in just 10 years. In Chile, the numbers are also of high concern, since 10% of the country's adult population suffer from diabetes. In order to maintain proper blood sugar levels, diabetic patients must inject insulin subcutaneously at least 2 times a day for a lifetime. This application is not only painful, but also very inconvenient due to the number of items the patient must carry, the skin lesions on frequent injection sites, and the cumbersome waste handling post-application. It is estimated that around 50% of diabetic type 2 patients who need to inject insulin do not do so due to the complex administration, which leads chronically to increased use of healthcare resources, higher medical costs, and markedly higher mortality rates. In response to this need, PrimeTech has developed a patented platform technology that allows us to print biological drugs, such as insulin, on thin films, such as the one on the picture, for the buccal administration, which allows us to obtain a simpler, more comfortable, discreet, painless drug administration systems with no post-use waste. By replacing injectables, we expect to improve patients' compliance with treatments. Since our 2D printing system is transversal not only to insulin but to multiple biological molecules, our total addressable market reflects the total peptide-based therapeutic market in the world with a size of $28 billion. Narrowing the market to just insulin, SAM's size is in the order of 13 billion, and of those, we could estimate that 50% of that segment are those non-compliant diabetic patients, representing our SAM. Our value proposition has 2 edges. On one hand, the end user, in other words, the diabetic patient, who will benefit from an insulin administration system that is needle-free, highly portable, with the capacity to assist treatment and with superior dosing accuracy. And secondly, on the other hand, the pharmaceutical companies, who will increase their profits and sales by having a new drug delivery system that is cheaper to manufacture, since it's not sterile, and allowing them to reach a segment of customers that have a fear of injections. Our technology uses conventional and commercially available inkjet printers and polymeric films. The magic resides on the patented method by which the drug is formulated in the printer cartridge and how it is applied to the surface of the film, resulting in printed films that exhibit enhanced permeation of insulin in tests that we have conducted in vitro systems, in vivo mouse model, and in ex vivo on excised pig buccal tissues. Prime's work is based on a technical team specialized in pharmaceutical sciences from the universities of Chile and Texas, headed by Dr. Javier Morales, inventor of the technology, and a management and administration component with experience in pharmaceutical companies in the US and applied research in international institutes, but more importantly, with large experience in the formation of technology-based startups. On the bottom part of the slide are the logos of some of our most relevant technology partners. Among Prime's milestones to highlight here are the leverage of more than $900,000 on mainly public funding for operational and IP work, the granting of the patent in Chile and the exclusive licensing of the same. We are currently awaiting key clinical results in swine animal model, and by the end of the year 2021, we will be incorporating the company in the United States with the support and guidance of the University of California, Riverside. We are convinced that our technology represents a paradigm shift for the treatment of diseases of global importance such as diabetes, allowing patients not only to not be afraid of the treatment, but also to increase their adherence and considerably improving their quality of life. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Do we have any questions? Yes, Nelson. I can see the judges jumping around for the questions. Sven, can we put all the judges in spotlight? Perfect. Over to you, Nelson. Then we go to the back.
Yeah, I can start. First of all, Juana, very nice presentation, very intriguing. I'm a mentor in Taiwan also and other countries for startups, and they do a lot of biotech and medical. So basically, it's a film that it's applied and the film dissolves. Is that what?
Correct.
Oh, there it is. The film that dissolves.
It is. Have you seen those Listerine mint strips for
yes.
bad breath? It's exactly the same principle. And the difference is that you don't apply sublingually or on the top of your tongue, because that will be a buccal an oral administration. Ours is a buccal administration in which you have to apply it and stick it to your mucosa inside your cheek, which allows us to go directly to the systemic circulatory system in the body. In that way, we avoid the digestive tract and all the enzymes that are in the digestive tract that will obviously kill insulin or any other protein that we would like to supply.
And your trials, you said you're on the pig first, and you're on a safety level, right? Before you get into efficacy, or how far are you?
No, we are first of all in bioavailability of the molecule in a vivo system. Pigs are notoriously known for having the same oral capacity and similar to humans. So the next step will be to have a dose response test, and then after that we will have in our Gantt a submission of an IND later this year, probably in December. With that, we will have, the grant for clinical research on humans.
Great. You look me up in LinkedIn. I think we can maybe have some discussions after this because it's very interesting.
Absolutely.
Maybe cooperating with other countries, not only Germany also, but Germany, I think you're in the right spot with, of course, before we mentioned about the different companies here, the biomedical companies. But first you have to do your homework, proof of concept, and then to get higher value, all the shareholder value to be able to incorporate with a big one. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
Look me up on LinkedIn, okay? Thank you.
Yeah, hi, Joanna. Your presentation was awesome. I think you are onto something really, really big in terms of actually solving the diabetic problem. Yes, even in India, for that matter, India is the diabetic capital, and 1 in 10, mature males are people are diabetic. I'm just intrigued to understand. Why did you choose diabetes as a problem? There are other problems also, which also needs constant delivery of medicines through some kind of intravenous modes. Is there any other things, any other diseases you're planning to also incorporate in your delivery mechanism?
Absolutely. First of all, the system is different in the sense that we are targeting protein delivery, which is different for small molecules, right? Regular chemicals. For regular chemicals, there are already buccal systems out there that are already in the market for the longest. The issue with the proteins is obviously that it's not easy to do films like this. In fact, there is no medicine using protein medicines in the market as of today. Now, why diabetes is a worldwide problem. I mean, you instantly get the attention of people when you speak about diabetes, and the fact that you don't need to stick your needle twice a day in order to get your sugar levels properly. So that is a no-brainer in terms of getting the attention. Now our platform works also for other proteins, and probably a second disease that we are targeting is in the world of hormones. So for hormonal treatments, for example, for women, or for growth hormones for kids that are underdeveloped, that will be a target as well in the future.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I think, as Nelson said, do connect with me on LinkedIn. And there are lots of things we can do together. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Debashish. Sebastian, Papa, do we have any questions? Yes, Sebastian.
Yes. My question is connected by the basis questions. Is how much do you need to develop the production of your product? So you can produce this kind of films in any country, or what do you need to do that?
So let me talk about the patent. So we have a granted patent in Chile, and we have started national phases in Europe and the United States. So the patent will cover those territories, first of all. But we can do manufacturing here in Chile, for example, and we are actually ramping up to acquire a larger printer that will increase our throughput in order to print a much more higher, not only films, but also in higher doses. So we are gearing up for the second semester of 2021, first semester of next year as well, in order to do that, because obviously we need that setting in order to get into the clinical trials. Once you get into clinical trials, you need to have the setting as close to market as possible. And so we are assuming that in a year or so, we will get there.
Another comment here, Juana, and why do you want to print this? Because I was at RLB before, and we had those films. We didn't print them. We just got them manufactured, and it was like very low cost. So why do you want to print?
I'm sorry to interrupt over here, but we are actually running really short of time, and we do have a networking session, and there are guests over here who would love to ask questions to various startups. So I'm so sorry to interrupt, Nelson. Pablo, if you have questions, you have not asked the question. If you have questions, very crisp one for 1 minute. If not, we'd be happy to take it offline on the networking session. Perfect. Thank you so much, Pablo. Thank you, Juana. So sorry to cut you off, Nelson. I did not intend to do that, but we are really, overboarded with the time. Thank you so much. With that, we come to the end of the startups for today. Please stay back. We will have a very amazing speaker session coming up next. And after that, will take you to the networking session. We'll open the networking lounge for you to interact with all the startups, to interact with AHK Argentina, with us from Mainstage, and you can ask us all the various sorts of questions, and we'll try to help you in any way that we can. Sven, I think with that we can close this session, and just like we did with the previous ones, the next session will start immediately after this. Thank you so much. Stay back, and we'll see you next. Hello, everyone. Yes, thank you, Sven. Thank you, Esteban, and Sarah for joining in today. I'm so sorry. Yeah. So moving ahead, like I mentioned earlier, that all the startups that you presented, all the startups who presented at the moment, and the ones who are going to present, or the ones who are looking to expand or scale into Frankfurt, obviously Mainstage, Frankfurt Valley, we are there to help you out. But as an entrepreneur, as a former entrepreneur, one thing that is always in my mind is what is the opportunity and what are the kind of synergies that we are looking forward to when it comes to for a startup to expand into Germany, for a country in any region, right? And since today's event is focusing on Latin American startups, the next panel of speakers, Sarah and Esteban, are going to talk about the opportunities, synergies, and bridges between Latin America and German startup ecosystem. For that, I'd like to invite Pedro, Esteban, and Sarah onto the stage, please. And Pedro, all the stage is all yours.
Thank you, Samit. Yes, I will be the moderator. So I'm really excited, and I really want to say thank you to Sarah and Esteban for joining me. It's a pleasure to have you here. We have round about 20 minutes, and if we have the average, so it will give us round about 10 minutes each. And depending if the audience is interactive, please write questions, and we will be happy to address and answer them. But I will start with ladies first, with Sarah as well, because Sven already started asking these kind of questions about why the region is appealing for startups and so on. But before that, Sarah, right now you are the ecosystem manager for TechQuartier, but in the past as well, you were working with the Frankfurt GmbH, which is one of our partners as well. Would you like to shortly try to, in a nutshell, explain us what you are doing and so on? Sarah?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. So I'm Sarah, and hello to everyone. I've recently joined TechQuartier as ecosystem manager for the Frankfurt Rhine-Main region, which means I'm supporting our growing ecosystem to better connect with all the stakeholders and make it further improve and thrive. And as you said, I'm with TechQuartier. TechQuartier itself is an innovation hub which offers co-working and community. So it mainly focuses on connecting the startups with the established corporates in the region. When it was founded in 2016, it first focused on fintech, but since then it has evolved to including whichever tech comes along. So it's also green tech, insure tech, prop tech, and all the others. And as you also mentioned, before joining TechQuartier, I worked for the International Investment Promotion Agency for the Greater Frankfurt region, which means I supported international companies to explore the Frankfurt Rhine-Main region and successfully expand here and set up the operations in our region.
Okay. Yes, Sarah. So that is the perfect bridge for the question that I was asking. So in the region, or what are the best points for a startup and for corporates to land in the region? I already mentioned diversity, but for sure you can tell us some other points.
Yeah, sure. Like as today's event is called Through Frankfurt to the World, I think this already is one of the key advantages that the region has to offer, right? So Frankfurt Rhine-Main is right at the center of Germany, but also in the heart of Europe. And through its like infrastructure, be it digitally or in terms of connectivity, I think this is, it makes it very easy to connect to partners and customers all over Europe, but also all over the world. So this is one of the key advantages, I'd say. Also, I think you already mentioned it, it's like a very international place. Frankfurt itself has a great and long history doing international trade because of the trade fair here. And I think, who was it? Yeah, some of the other speakers already mentioned that it's like English is commonly spoken here, so it will be very easy for you to communicate. There are English accelerator programs, there are English newsletters, so it will be very easy to like touch base here. One of the other facts, I think you also mentioned that Frankfurt is the financial center of continental Europe, with more than 250 banks here and insurance companies and asset managers. So it's the ideal like playground for B2B fintechs, for example. But what I would like to highlight is that it's not limited to this, right? So there are various industries in the region. You have the life sciences industry, you have healthcare and pharma, you have the logistics, but also ICT and cybersecurity. And within all these industries, you will find like major international players that have their headquarters located in our region, like German headquarters, but also European headquarters. And at the same time, you also have a strong base, a strong SME community, which both I think can serve as partners and clients also to startups. So this is like a good point to like enter this network and connect for B2B fintechs, I would say. Yes. But yeah, one point maybe, I think like the greatest advantage is because it's very like it's crucial for startups to find the right people to work in the startup and help you to grow. So I think one of the greatest advantages is the great talent pool that we've got here. So there are like 250,000 students in the region with like 50,000 graduates every year. And there are great universities such as TU Darmstadt, which are world-class leading in AI, but you also have Goethe University or Frankfurt School of Finance or the EBS University that offer great programs for in terms of business and also entrepreneurship. So yeah, there's like, yes. I could go on, but
yes. And you mentioned you already mentioned that the ecosystem is quite vibrant and developing. Indeed, just to give an overview and the landscape, I think in the region we have around 500 startups at the moment. The number is growing by day. We have startups that are coming from abroad, but as well cases of local startups that are scaling. Do you want to give any highlight or any success story that it's interesting for these startups to look into?
Like success stories of startups that have internationally? Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, sure. So for example, that would be maybe BioNTech. I think most of you have heard of that startup. But I'm not like mentioning it because of the migrant founders, but more of the aspect that I think that it was like the connection or the collaboration of the startup BioNTech on the one hand side, but then also Pfizer on the other hand side. This B2B collaboration, which really helped it like to foster innovation and for the key international success in the end. And this is what I think the region, I also already mentioned it, like stands for, this great possibility of B2B collaboration. Another example could be, for example, Emma, the sleep company, which is one of Europe's fastest growing startups. I think they have like 650 team members with like 50 nationalities in their team and offices in Frankfurt and Lisbon, Manila and Shanghai. And it was founded in 2015, I think, in Frankfurt. And since then they've like expanded their network to 17 countries and 3 continents. So that is also another great success story for like the e-commerce startup or scale up now. And maybe another one that's also linked to the LATAM community would be maybe the example of Finsight and its founder Friedhelm Schmidt, who's half Peruvian, I think. And FinSight is like a fintech service provider. And I think they were founded like roughly 6 years ago, and have also got like 60 people now from over 17 countries working in their offices in Germany, Ukraine, and Peru, and serve clients all over Europe. So yeah, I think these would be some success stories.
Yes,
worth mentioning.
so those are very good mentions, and indeed it just reminded me also to highlight that with Frankfurt Valley we had interviewed at least 5 or 6 different entrepreneurs from the region with LATAM roots. So everyone, if you want to go to Frankfurt Valley, I think I already shared the link. We have specific interviews with very interesting role models, and we have another one coming in some hours. Santiago is just writing here. He's going to be joining me in a session later on today, also giving a very good example of a LATAM person succeeding in the region. Sarah, thank you for all your inputs. I will now ask some questions as well to Esteban. Esteban Carly, welcome on stage. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. So I think now we could have the opportunity to do the other side of the coin. Esteban, would you like to highlight from the Argentinian side maybe some opportunities for the German stakeholders? Sebastian Luna already touched upon some of them, but it's always good to hear from you as well.
Fantastic. Thank you, Pedro, for having me. Hello, Sarah. Thank you, Sven, also for having me, and a special shout out to Julieta, who's always there for us at the Hessen Trade representation in Buenos Aires. Well, I thought this was a pause from pitching, but I will pitch my country also.
Yes.
I will try to do my best. Okay, it's the whole sector is very hard to quantify who's going where, and but I think there's a very good proxy we could use for that. That is the Argentinian exports of softwares. We export $1.7 billion per year. Half of it goes to the US, 40% go to Latin American countries, and the rest is spread. Half of that 10% goes to Spain. So there's very little going on with Germany, and there's no reason for that to be the case. The economic roots of the bilateral economic relationship between Argentina and Germany are as old as our country, both our countries actually. Industry is there, services are there. There are Germans living in Argentina. Many of them actually descend from Germans, and there are many thousands of Argentinians living in Germany themselves. There's no reason for this number not to be bigger. And part of the reason for that is that information is missing. And that's what we're doing here. We are talking about a sector that it is good enough for being competitive, both in terms of price and quality in the US. That should be good enough for here also. If the concern is its quality, we have the best pool of university professors in the whole of Latin America, by far. We actually have a common, with a focus on engineering, we have common university programs that are both done in Germany and in Argentina. Students can come and go. I know them almost personally because I make their visas. So this, I can tell you that this is happening. And if I may say one more thing about that, what you're going to find in Argentina is something different. There was a very famous German, Alexander von Humboldt. He traveled Latin America and he saw things there that he did not see in Germany. If you go and find partners in Latin America, specifically in Argentina, you are going to find companies that have grown under different circumstances, under different with different incentives. Sorry, the German is starting to interfere. And they will be able to provide solutions. They will be able to provide products that you have never thought of that was necessary. So the more intense and the more frequent contacts are between both ecosystems, the better for the both of them. Actually, I will put here in the chat a small link. That is something that our embassy in the US, together with the private sector, has provided. It's called Argentina Delivers. It has a lot of information, but what's particularly interesting about that is that there's a list, there's a directory of companies that provide software for the world. It's quite a comprehensive directory. Let me check the exact number. It's a directory of 759 firms which are exporting software to the world from Argentina. This is also a rather opportune moment for saying that we are celebrating our 6th unicorn. It's a satellite company. And that's what I mean about substance. In Argentina, you will go and find substance. It's a new company called Satellogic. It makes satellites. And that's something that is very interesting because we've been sending emails around and calling people since last year, since we put a new Argentine satellite sent with Argentine technology, and no one knew that we had satellites. So that's what I mean with gaps of information. There's a big task both for us in the public sector as well for those in the private sector with an interest in this, to communicate and to get this information where it should be.
And that's a great example, Esteban. I think when I mentioned diversity, both me and Sarah, for example, that would be a great synergy with the European Space Agency, which is headquarters here in the region. So yeah, I hope that we can do the connection there. But Esteban, do you have some specific cases or examples of Argentinian companies, even if it's not startups, but bigger corporates as well, that they are doing or performing quite interesting operations here in Germany that you want to mention?
I will revert back to because he was already mentioned, Herr Schmidt, that he went with Finesight to Argentina. That was an event organized by Hessen and Invest. They picked an Argentinian startup. They actually have been in contact already with many people in this group. It's Lemon Cash. It's a Argentine e-wallet that has allowed to expand in Europe, and we're very happy that they're doing great. But yes, there's a point there that you're making that I will address explicitly. We lack the information. It's a very difficult to grasp sector in which we can get together all the companies that from Argentina and all the entrepreneurs that are coming to Germany to deliver, to grow and to internationalize. I hope that in the future we will be able to work with the different stakeholders so that we can be also more at the center of the stage, and people can network around us.
I think, yeah, Esteban, you are right, touching the point that Frankfurt Valley has been as well fighting for, because I think we built this platform exactly for that, to give highlights to our hub in a language and in a format that is easy for it to understand for different stakeholders. And I would be very happy that we find solutions in order to accelerate these on both sides of the ecosystems. If we are reaching the end of the panel, if there are questions from the audience, please write them on the chat. I think both Sarah and Esteban are very open to network. So if you have specific questions,
of course,
please send over LinkedIn as well directly to them. As no one is writing, I think that's all for today. I thank you once again, both Sarah and Esteban, for joining us, and Summit, over to you. And I think we will hear some more startup speaking.
Perfect. Thank you, Pedro, Sarah, and Esteban, for joining this panel today. I request everyone to stay back till the networking event starts after the 4 pitches and the next speakers come in. That's going to be shortly in about half an hour, 45 minutes. So you can connect both with Sarah and Esteban on the tables that we have organized for you. Virtual tables, obviously, because this is a global event and we are all going through a difficult time at the moment. So once again, thank you so much for coming today, Sarah and Esteban. Thank you, Pedro, for moderating. With this, we are going to call the session to put this session to a close. Just like we did with the previous session, the next session will start immediately after this one. You do not have to go anywhere. You'll be prompted that the next session has started. So thank you so much, Sven. If we may close the session and go ahead with the pitches now. So after the wonderful 8 startups who presented to us today, we have come to the final speaker session for this Emerge Latin American edition of 2021. The next speaker is Santiago, and we are going to hear from him a success story and tips since he's a role model of a Latin American startup or corporate in Germany. I'd like to call on stage Santiago. Could you please enlighten all the startups and all the attendees over here? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sumit. I will be also joining Santiago as the moderator of the session. I would like to say thank you, Santiago, for joining us. And by the way, today you are doing a very personal favor because it's also his birthday, your birthday. So Santiago, happy birthday. I hope after the event you will have the opportunity to celebrate. I've seen you have been quite active, so we will touch as well in some of the interventions that you wanted to ask. But first, and to kick off, Santiago, you are from Colombia, if I'm not wrong. So there is the LATAM roots explained. But can you tell us a bit of your personal story and how did you come to Germany? What are you doing at the moment? Because I think this is very important for our audience.
No problem. I would like to start by giving you a warm welcome, everybody from around this globe, from Frankfurt, actually from the office. So this is Frankfurt. That's the Main River crossing through the lake. This is the Fressgas where everybody goes eating. That's the Alte Oper. That's the Rothschild Lake. And here I am. I'm in this 37th floor. This is where family office sits at UBS, and in the back it's investment banking. Yes, I'm from Colombia. I joined, well, let me start farther back. I came to Colombia, I came to Germany from Colombia in 2001. I've lived around the globe a little bit, lived in Colombia, I lived in Brazil, India, Singapore, and Germany. In Germany, I had 3 stations: Munich, Hamburg, and now Frankfurt. Yes, what's my background? I studied investment management in Augsburg in a double bachelor. I also studied process optimization and started working with KPMG in private equity. Then went back to Colombia, worked at university in Colombia due to personal reasons that I had to go back. And then I came back to Germany and started at Deutsche Bank with family offices. Did that for 3 years. And now I'm almost since 1 year with UBS in the same industry, same role as associate director and second team head for the client managers here. It's a 12-man team. We advise family offices on their liquidity management. We don't directly advise on investment management. That's what the family officers often do themselves. But those family offices who buy investment tips from investment banking need a liquidity advice on how to manage their cash liquidities. Where should money go from private equity into real estate or into the capital markets? And that's where we come in, and that's where we help. That's what we do. And I was doing that at Deutsche Bank with Latin American families, rich Latin American families that were booking their cash with Deutsche Bank. And now at UBS, I also work as a mentor and advisor for Circle LATAM, Circle LATAM is an incubator for circular economy startups. And I also have a small startup called the Meme Company, where we commercialize memes. It's this funny pictures that you send on WhatsApp. So doing that a little bit on the side from my work. And yes, that's what we do.
Great,
what
great. And it's a lot. And indeed, well, I have specific questions around the family office and investments, but as you said, it's something that you don't advise directly. But do you think in general, private family offices are interested in investing, or the German ones in investing in LATAM startups? What is your feeling? How could a startup, a LATAM startup, convince a German investor to fund them? Is it impossible?
No, it's not impossible at all, but it is a rather step back for a German family office to invest in a Latin, even a Latin American family office or a richer Latin American investor to invest in the country. There's various of different reasons why investments in other countries or in other segments are a little bit more appealing. It could be due to tax efficiency in other countries. It could be due to political stability in other countries. It could be due to the stability in the foreign exchange in other countries. So if I invest in an Argentinian company tomorrow, $1 million US, and the company has a projected cash flow of 20 million Argentinian pesos. How much is 20 million Argentinian pesos worth in 10 years? Perhaps less than my $1 million. So there's a lot of risk in Latin America combined, which you don't want to have in other emerging markets, if you are honest. For example, in Asia, where there's just a little bit more limited risk. But one thing that a startup said, you have a lot of talent in Latin America, which can be used for the developing of startups and software way more precisely than in other regions. So that's also a strength to Latin American, and also the business drive that drives Latin American, that these segmented businesses in Latin America is potential. But family offices, if you think about it, we're talking about clients with 20 or 50 million euros plus. So they always invest in a seed B, seed C investment round. Very, very, very little seed A or even seed funding. So they would wait for a named investor who has analyzed risk to invest and then maybe do the following. Nonetheless, if you have the door to open to talk to family offices, talk to them. Don't get offended, don't get sad to not receive the feedback that you're expecting, to not receive funding, but always leave the door open, because they will always be more open to investing after Series B, Series C.
That's, Santiago, that's a very good tip that you are just sharing with these startups, because indeed, yes, some of them are still in an early stage, but yeah, in some years now they can get the feedback, and in some years they may be scaling, and then makes sense maybe to contact you. But yeah, this was one tip that it's very important to hear. But as you have been working with several startups, as you said, with Circular LATAM, for example, do you have some other tips or success stories that you supported those LATAM startups to enter in Germany? That you want to
Success
share?
stories. Wait, I just wrote down some things, not to forget, things to mention.
Okay.
Success stories. Let me just share a little bit of what I experienced Latin American. Oh, my camera went off. Come here, come to Europe before you do business with Europe. Don't do business with Europe because of the most appealing thing for Latin American startups is the foreign exchange, the prices they can achieve in Europe. if you export, if you want to sell your services. So the purchasing power of a Latin American is less than a European. So that's very appealing. So the first thing you want is you want to sell your product that's working a little bit in Colombia, that's working in Mexico. You want to sell it in Germany. You want to sell it in the US. Go there and see what it's like. See what the consumers are. See what the competition is in the country, and then think of your expansion strategy on selling your products outside of Latin America, because if you look at the successful Latin American startups, and maybe even not startups anymore, but also founded companies, their expansion approach was always first Latin America. It was never an Argentinian company directly going to Germany, but it was an Argentinian company opening a sales representative office in Chile, in Brazil, in Colombia, because the money that you put in, if things are not working, you have to be able to pull it out very quick so you don't burn cash. So when it's your expansion strategy, my tip would be expand locally. And if you see an opportunity, if you hear about something in Germany that would work perfectly with your startup, go for it, but go to the country, take a 1 or 2 week trip, visit stakeholders, investors, whatsoever, but don't do it from home. It might be a very burning point.
Okay, thank you, Santiago, for again, second good tip that you are just giving. Well, as I was saying, right now, some of the judges are brainstorming about the startups that just pitched. I saw that you were active and listening to them and giving some points. Was there any particular area that you found very interesting? Do you see some potential fits here with these companies that just pitch?
Yes, Juanito's startup, what was it called? Print Medical Solutions. I don't know if you realize that in Texas, they limited the price for insulin as the first state in the US. So there's a lot of political movement on the subject of insulin. So you're on the verge of time with your startup right now. I want to encourage you to really go on. On the other hand, don't want to be the bad guy. Singapore, University of Singapore has already tested nanoparticles insulin through the oral course with rats. So maybe try to benchmark with what Singapore is doing on this. In India, you can inhale insulin through an inhaler. So try to benchmark with that to get your proof of concept perhaps quicker than what you're expecting, because you're on the verge of time. You have political movement right now in the US with the subject of insulin, where you're going. So I wanted to talk to you if you're aware of this, if I should drop you the names of who is working on exactly what you're working, and not to see the bad guys in the competition, but to maybe benchmark what are they doing, what can I take from that to move forward with my proof of concept very quick. I really like that startup. I have to be honest with you, I did not understand 100% what the other startups did into detail. I did ask Alberto to maybe walk me a little bit through his numbers. I did understand that he was optimizing the way that you teach and consult your stuff, and that you in a very modern way. I like the concept idea, but it's not something that I'm familiar with.
Okay. In a nutshell, it was a good wrap up. Samit, how are we with time? Do we still have some extra time for this fireside, or are we done with the final results?
Let me check with the results. I guess the results are ready. They were all real time. I'm so sorry. I can switch on my camera, but the transformer
Okay,
just
don't worry.
by.
Sven just wrote that they are still negotiating. So I will have another question to Santiago then.
Yes.
So one of the areas that we saw as an opportunity is really the medtech. Do you see any other areas for the Argentinians and LATAM startups really to enter in Germany, that you see that maybe it could be easier for them to scale, or
any service and man-driven business where you need smart people who understand English, maybe can code and maybe can offer services. I think it's a time for
Don't
Latin
do it.
America.
Look at this.
Huh? Sven?
Oh.
Sorry. Yeah. So I think you're on the verge of time to do this, and look at Poland, who's the outsourcing capital of Germany. It's getting more expensive every day, every year. So it's time for Argentina, and I think there's one or two startups to offer services. Always have very, very deep in their name, their brand, and selling their services as their idea. But be also open-minded to just accept perhaps contracts from Europe to be used as a service provider in a form of outsourcing, to use that cash and then start developing yourself as your startup. That's what Polish companies are doing, for example. That's what Ukrainian companies are doing. So you're a software company, you have an idea to produce a software, but it's just not working. But there's another company, I think that's also a little bit of what Finsight did. There's another company who says, look, we need this product, can you produce it for us? Produce it, take the cash, and develop your startup again. So be a little bit more dynamic on this side, and be open. What Europe needs is smart and cheaper labor than in Europe, who can react quick and who can deliver on time. Maybe try to set and meet with the timelines in Europe, not only to be very precise and on time, but also to deliver during European office hours. So if your team is open to work a little bit earlier in Argentina, when it's already business hours here in Germany, I think you have an advantage perhaps to your Asian competitors, and a disadvantage that maybe your Latin American competitors who don't think like this have when a company is looking to who to work with.
Great. Well, Santiago, those were, again, very nice tips. And I think with that, we could close the fireside chat.
Sure.
Samir?
Yes, Pedro. Thank you so much, Pedro and Santiago, for this wonderful
Thank you,
fireside.
Santiago.
And thank you, guys. And sorry for the mishap. I thought I was on mute. But I was rearranging the winner slide. I know the verdict, but it's going to be super exciting. Really love the insights, Santiago. Thank you so much for providing this. Thank you, Pedro, for all these great questions. And again, I just love that view, and I can't wait to see that view again at some point. So,
guys, anytime in Frankfurt for coffee. We'll actually go to the 39th floor, so the view is even nicer.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Santiago.
Thank you.
So, Sumit, do we end this session or do we continue on this one?
I think we can continue with this session, and then we can announce the winners, then go off to the networking session.
Don't we have to bring in our team from the AHK Argentina Valley?
Oh, yes, we do. So if that session is created, we can go ahead with that.
Okay, I'm not sure there is. So I think just for the sake of it, so Giulietta and Sebastian, if you can just raise your hands, then we can let you into the air meet as well. That'll be awesome.
But there is the session, Summit and Sven. I just saw that in the schedule there is the session to announce the winners.
Yeah, but Sven is the only speaker over there, so maybe we can call our Argentina partners over here, and we can do it here itself.
Okay, so I have, there you go. So hand mic, and let's bring Sebastian into this as well. Okay. What about our prestigious judges. Do you guys, I don't know how many AirMeet will support. Let's try this.
Hello, can you hear me? Yes.
Yes, Sebastian, I can hear you. Thank you so much. Okay, so Julieta is still loading.
I think Juliet is offline. Okay, let me ask her.
Perfect. Yeah. I think it was a wonderful session, and I can see that the judges took longer than they were supposed to, which is always a good sign. It shows disagreement of some scores. But either how, I think they have come to an agreement, which I'm really happy with. Before we announce the winners, why don't you, Sumit, talk us a little bit about what the startups are going to win?
Perfect. Thank you, Sven. So yes, obviously. So out of all the 8 startups, all of you have been fantastic. It was really amazing listening to you, what you are building, what you have already built, and the reason why you are looking to expand into Europe or to the world through Frankfurt, just like we have mentioned over here. So with this event, what Mainstage is going to give to the startups is $100,000 worth of credit, I believe, Sven, with the in terms of the acceleration program. Am I correct? Sven, please correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, you can add a couple of more zeros. No, I'm just kidding. No, so we're giving $10,000 worth of acceleration services for the startup, which means around a 6-month acceleration program for the startups, to help scale within Frankfurt, also with the help of our ecosystem partners, but also scale the startup globally to other geographies as well.
Yes, and along with that, you get all the services in terms of fundraising support, like Sven mentioned, global customer acquisition, soft landing into Germany, and also access to our partners in terms of global customer acquisition, fundraising, marketing via Frankfurt Valley and all our marketing partners that we have. Pedro, who heads the Frankfurt Valley, will help you, get the brand awareness going through, not just Europe, but all across the world. And yes, that is what the winners are going to get today. And I'm super excited to get to know who the winners are, some of the phenomenal startups that I saw today. And I'm sure all the judges had a really difficult time evaluating the scores.
Yeah, perfect. Yes. I think we're still waiting for Julieta and Sebastian. So if you can hear me, please raise your hands. Julieta and Sebastian, there you go. Sebastian is there. Okay, and
yes, I'm here, but Julie has problems with the connection.
Oh, okay. That. What do we do? Do we announce the winners? Do you want to say anything closing as well? I think Sebastian, as far as I remember, Julieta mentioned another surprise awaiting.
Yes,
why don't you tell?
We have another surprise before we announce the winner now. On behalf of the AHK Argentina, we would like to inform.
Okay, that was.
We lost Sebastian, and I could just connect back.
Yeah. Okay. So I think this is a tricky game. Apologies to the audience here. I think it's a technical issue. Julieta, I think Sebastian was just about to say on behalf of AHK Argentina, and then you may continue the sentence.
I can continue the sentence. Thank you all very much for this very, very exciting event. And just as a last announcement and a farewell surprise for every participant, regardless of the results of today's pitch session, we would like to inform that every Argentinian participant startup will be automatically enlisted to compete in the regional contest for the Startup Germany Tour. The pre-selection for the regional contest will take place on September the 3rd, and we'll select 5 Argentinian startups that will be invited to participate in November on the Startup Germany Tour. This is an exclusive one-week virtual event that will allow you to connect with the entrepreneurial ecosystems in Germany and in other 30 countries. And in November, there will be a last final competition within these startups from 30 countries for travel expenses to Germany, as well as a prize, a money prize. So we will send you all the information. And of course, this will be a perfect opportunity to go meet Sven, Pedro, Devashis, all our Mainstage Incubator team, and to visit Tech Quartier and all the very, very important multipliers that participated today in this event. So thank you very much. That was on behalf of the AHK.
Beautiful. I think, Julieta, that is awesome news. And hey, so, even though we will announce one winner for our acceleration program, everyone today, you guys are all winners. And I think that is a really, really great gesture. Thank you so much, Julieta, for bringing it in. Sumit, before we announce the winner, let's give a huge thanks to all our partners as well. If you could just do that, and then I will go ahead and share the screen.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you, Sven. Thank you so much, Julieta, as well. So, this event was conducted in a partnership of AHK Argentina and Mainstage Incubator, but we could not have done this without the support of Hessen Trade and Invest, who are our sponsors, and our partners, Google for Startups, Frankfurt Valley, VSpark, Tech Quartier, Incutex, AHK Deutsch, Chile. And again, I'm going to go this. Please forgive me if I do not pronounce it properly. Bolsa de Comercio de Rosario. And thank you so much to all the startups, to all the judges, the speakers, the partners, every single one of you who has been involved. This is what truly means being global, and this is what a startup should look like. A startup ecosystem should work like, bringing various ecosystem players together and promoting the ones who are going to make a huge impact in this world, the ones who are going to make a dent in this universe. And with that, I hand over the stage to you, Sven. It's time that we announce the results.
Perfect. So, the winning startup of the Merge 2021 through Frankfurt to the World by AHK Argentina is, too bad that we don't have drum rolls. I hope this will work. There you go. Aggro. Congratulations, Aggro. If you could raise your hand, please, then we will invite you onto the stage. You have won $10,000 worth of acceleration through our Mainstage Incubator program. We will help you with customer acquisition globally. We will help you with fundraising support. If we decide personally as well, we will invest into your company as well. For that, the innovation team will get in touch with you. Juan, congratulations. You want to turn on your
okay.
Perfect.
Thanks a lot. That means really a lot for us. We're starting this path as a company and participating in this competition was very interesting for us, and we are excited for the acceleration program.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Sumit, before you give a word, again, guys, you all are winners, and I was really happy to hear the the next program, the Startup Germany Tour program, which Julieta announced. Every one of you guys are winners. Everybody of you guys have entrepreneurial mindset, and we wish you all the best. I think we have a networking after this session, but Sumit, I don't want to steal your show here.
Thank you, Sven. Thank you so much. No, the show is for all the startups today. They are the ones who are in the limelight at the moment. They are the ones who need to be in the limelight. And every single startup that I listen to, my day-to-day role is about getting to know startups, to trying to evaluate them, to see what is it that they are building, because every startup is exciting in their own way. And all the 8 startups I must mention have been phenomenal. Deep Aggro, congratulations on behalf of Mainstage, AHK, and everyone over here for winning this competition. But congratulations to all the other startups as well. You've done phenomenal. Loved what you're building. And we all hope that you go ahead, like I mentioned, make a dent in the universe. We are all winners at heart. And now, before we close this session and we move ahead, before we call it a day, I'd like to mention that there were questions from various participants over here, and all of us would like to interact to know more about what each of us are offering, what Pedro is offering, what Santiago is offering, what Mainstage, AHK, all of us are offering. So we will open the networking table for you. You can hop onto any table that you want to discuss with the person you want to have a conversation with. You can go there, and we'll be there for you. We can have a conversation over there. That's the best part of any event, right? Networking and getting to know other people, so that we build our network and grow ahead. Thank you so much for joining in today. Thank you all the judges, speakers. Thank you, Sven. Thank you, Pedro. Thank you, Nelson, for that wonderful translation you provided. I'm sure we'll be able to catch up with all the startups offline. Thank you so much. Have a good day and stay safe.
Thank you, everyone.